Hello everybody, this is Luckless Lovelocks bringing you some more Technobabylon. Last time we played, we escaped our apartment, and as soon as we did that, it seems like there was an explosion that went off, and I'm not sure what happened to that original character. We did see the person that we started off in the intro cinematic with staring at the apartment from looks like another building. And we saw one of the rooms explode, so that must have been the room that we were in. And then he walked away, so he must have had something to do with the explosion. It's gonna be curious to see what happens with that character. And now it looks like we're playing an entirely different set of characters. This is 20 days before the explosion. It looks like we're some police officers, one or the other. So we've got Leo and Deception. I don't think that's his name. All right, let's get into it and see what happens. I'm very intrigued by this story. So we are playing as...
anyone there?
Is this gentleman here?
Doesn't look like anyone's around.
Hey, Lau.
Yeah?
Mindjacker case, Central's prediction, Animus Organics, the company.
I've lost count of the number of times the Mindjackers struck.
In Newton or globally?
Oh, just a figure of speech. He's been on the rampage for too long, but now he's in our territory.
Should give us the advantage.
So we're hunting down the Mindjacker. Wonder if that's who we saw in the openings.
Do we have any ideas about our perp?
The fact that he's stealing data straight from living neural wiring is disturbing, but it tells us a couple of important things.
Oh?
Well, previously caught mindjackers have usually burnt out after one or two attacks. Sharing a whole other's brain worth of data is pretty taxing.
So we're looking for someone with a really specialized wetware setup in their heads. Pity that won't tell us what they look like.
The other problem is how slippery this guy is. Only fragments of appearances on camera, no clear witnesses.
Which means he's either a master of disguise...
Or there's some pretty high-up collusion to hide him. That wouldn't surprise me if he were a business hire.
Still, after this many hits, he may start to slip.
Even if it's just his psyche breaking.
Well, I remember the guy complaining about headaches. So clearly, that's who they're talking about. It looks like these mindjackings are having an effect on his psyche, as we said.
At least we've managed to link the previous mindjackings to one suspect.
It's the MO. Historically, mindjackers have used some kind of external gear. They use another system to extract, before storing it in their own neural tissue.
So they'd need a terminal.
Which is usually how we catch them. It's conspicuous.
But are mindjackers not behaving the same way?
No. His tools appear to be built into his own bodily wetware system. Some kind of resonance imager in his body, maybe.
Whatever it is, it's less invasive as well.
Exactly. His victims suffer massive hemorrhages, but no external injuries. State of the art, but a dead giveaway.
Interesting.
So, Central predicted our mindjacker was going to strike here.
You don't trust it?
I just don't understand how it came to that conclusion.
Obviously, we're doing our jobs right. We collect data, which Central interprets. Based on that data, it maps a pattern.
But why isn't it a pattern that we could see?
It's not only us. Central's got all of the city, the whole net to draw on.
But it won't tell us how it's come to the conclusion where the mindjacker will strike. Does it think we can't understand? Is it concealing something?
Just be glad we've got an advantage like Central.
I still don't like it.
I tend to agree. I don't like the fact that it's some black box. We don't know how it's actually working.
You don't like that Central's predicted this, do you?
It's not how investigations are supposed to be done.
Admit it. You're afraid your job's going to be stolen by machines. Kind of like weavers, factory workers, authors.
Just
Everyone.
how old do you think I am? No, don't answer that. I just don't like having that key bit of information kept from me.
You need to learn to work with Central. It's not our enemy. It works for us as we work for it.
Until this mindjacker hacks it, right?
Animus Organics.
That's what the sign says. They're one of the city's largest computational biotech firms.
What do they make?
Wetware mostly. Wouldn't be grown here, probably in Eurofed.
This place is just the
Eurofed.
offices?
Regional headquarters, Central tells me. Do we know why it predicts the next attack will take place here?
It won't share that with us. Need to know. A high-tech firm like this must have secrets worth something to a mindjacker.
Need to know. We're the investigators. I think we need to know.
Wetware, huh?
Yeah. specifically for forming neural connections between systems. The blue stuff. The nanomachines keeping the modern world running.
It's funny. When I think nanomachine, I picture tiny gears and turbines, when really they're just bits of proteins and macromolecules.
They still perform all kinds of mechanical tasks, just smaller.
I guess I'm technically more of an expert in them than you are. I used to make them for a living.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know what to do with them anymore. Organic computing, that's my field.
Let me know if you find anything.
Will do, Regis.
Regis. Okay, so we do have a history in nano robots. We used to build them, apparently. Interesting that we went from that to being a police officer. Well, you technically have the authority to commandeer vehicles for cell business. Central would need a very good reason to override the car systems. Fair enough. Expensive-looking car sits on the road. If you're in a worse mood, you might be inclined to ticket it.
I always make sure this is the car we take out.
They're all the same, Charlie.
No, they're not. This one's mine.
Though you don't give Central's predictions much credibility, you'd still better investigate. It'll make proving it wrong that much easier. Cool. Your colleague, Dr. Max Lau, probably the only other case officer who can put up with your method of work. A technical jack of all trades and almost as unconventional as yourself when it comes to investigation. You'd be reluctant to say friend. That would suggest a degree of emotional openness you're still unprepared to allow to anyone. I'm just going to change something here. I'm going to turn down sound volume a bit more because I find it's kind of loud. Right. Company's front desk. In a big firm like this, you'd expect it to be manned 24/7, but the staff have disappeared. This is weird. Let's go in.
Hey, service!
Animus must be one of those places that doesn't keep staff working nights. Very strange.
You go in.
The elevator's locked. Panel says authorized personnel only.
I guess we need to find someone who counts as authorized, then.
Weird. Oh. Whoa!
What the hell?
What? My thoughts exactly, Regis.
What'd you find?
A security card. This man was custodial staff, a janitor.
Probably not our Mindjacker's target, then.
Still, I don't think this was an accident. We need to find out what's going on here.
We call for help? It's an object of a long drop, but from where and why? I guess we just leave him?
The elevator's locked. Panel.
Oh, okay. I thought I just automatically use it. So we've got a jolt gun, traveler, cell-issue traveler like the civilian models, in many ways capable of making calls and running apps. Okay, the specialized model carried by Cell possessed more powerful sensors and encryption. Traveler's sonograph is picking up very little ambient activity in the building. Electroshock weapon with an output of between 2 and 8 million volts. Wow. This still uses an ultraviolet laser to ionize channel of air, allowing electrical charge to pass from the device to its target. We use this? Call Central, and we got Lau, we've got case file. Just take a look at the case file. Centralized Emergency Logistics case file, RE, blah, blah, blah. Category, Class 4 information larceny with composite harm to health of individual targets, i.e. mindjacking. Case officers assigned, Regis, Dr. C, and Lau, Dr. M, secondary. Okay. Outline. Beginning in March 2087, a string of data theft attacks have been carried out within Newton, using a process of resonant modulation with subjects' neurals, but where the data contents of individual victims' brains are being destructively removed with fatal consequences to targets. Damn. So we've got 18 victims in Newton alone. Identity of perpetrator not known. Subject appears exceptionally skilled at infiltration. May have inside help from larger sponsor. action. Case specialists Regis and Lau are assigned to compile all available data on Mindjacker's activity, including investigation of latest targets for analysis by Central. Well, Central. Maybe they can send a...
This is Regis. Come in, Central.
to pick up this
Central
body.
standing by.
You don't usually make predictions on high-level cases like this, Central. What's different about this one?
Limited progress was being made through conventional investigation. To expedite the investigation, I was tasked to provide more direct oversight.
Hey, are you saying we can't do our jobs right by ourselves?
I am a civic coordination AI, Dr. Regis, with responsibility for 9.4 million inhabitants. Slander of colleagues would produce no gains for the city.
Oh, yeah.
A fact which, on occasion, I would hope you would pay more attention to.
Ah,
What made you think the Mindjacker was going to strike here?
The professionalism of the attack suggests that these are not merely random targets. Though the reasoning behind the attacks remains vague, patterns form from previous incidents. The probability of tonight's attack was sufficient that it warranted investigation.
Obviously, you're using data gathered by myself and Dr. Lau. But since we haven't found a pattern in our work, I guess that you've got more sources than us.
Correct. However, that information remains classified.
Huh, what a surprise. Status report, Central.
All operations within centralized emergency logistics nominal. Anti-civil activity index within tolerance at .004.
Yeah.
Weather forecast, dry. Highs of 12 Celsius. UV index of 8.
kind of cold.
Less general. Updates on the case?
Data, Dr. Regis.
Okay, thanks.
Could they have made it a less creepy voice?
What's your take on the case, Central?
An individual of unknown origin is prosecuting a global series of attacks. These involve the removal of data from the minds of victims. Invariably, the speed of the process has had a deleterious and fatal effect.
Yes, those are the facts. But what's your opinion on the matter?
All we
you have
have
an
are facts,
opinion.
Dr. Regis. These must be analyzed in order to apprehend those responsible.
And that is why AIs would make lousy detectives.
Cell retains an investigative corps of specialists such as yourself, Dr. Regis. Your role is in no danger, you can be assured.
I never said I thought it was.
Though you may not be neurally linked, and I am unable to directly access your mental activity, a lot can be learned about an individual's thoughts by observation.
Fair enough.
What do we know about Animus Organics?
Biotech firm, manufacturer of computational wetware and other biomechanical products. First publicly traded stock in August 2044. Currently sitting board members include...
Okay, maybe that's a bit too much. Why do we think the Mindjacker's going to strike here?
The projection has been based upon previous targets. Using a Markov German distribution map, outlying variables can be...
Statistics aren't really my thing, Central.
You would have been unsatisfied with it's beyond your comprehension.
I guess you're right.
She's pretty good.
Central, we have a bystander casualty. Doesn't appear to have been mind-jacked, so it may be unrelated. Still,
A most troubling turn of events.
that's an understatement.
This is, after all, an unexpected variable.
An unexpected... A man is dead, Central.
And as a result, probability projections have become less stable. Proceed with caution, Dr. Regis.
Regis out.
No kidding. Alright, what else do we have here? Hey, they could call her straight there. No time for the news. This. Laser, paper, stone? Oh, it's like rock, paper, scissors, I guess. A little game we can play. Okay. Enough playing around. This.
It's unlocked floor 26 for us.
Must be where its owner was working.
Pretty nonchalant about this whole exploded corpse in front of us.
Damn
Oh,
it.
wow.
Burns all around the planar nodes and his wetware wiring. Yeah, this is our mindjacking victim.
Central
Okay.
was right.
The attack was recent, maybe minutes ago. The mindjacker was probably interrupted by the janitor who ended up on the street.
There's only one other way out of here. To the roof. We need to get up there before he escapes again.
Let's take a look around first.
His
of
ID
course.
badge says Gerbach, Avery. He's an HR supervisor.
If the Mindjacker's in corporate espionage, it's a pretty strange target.
Have Central run his data. See if it can flag anything.
Well, if he's an HR rep, it might be maybe he's looking for someone. See what he was looking at in the terminal here. From Atwood, Roy, HR Management. Subject, the roof. There's a time and place for the trance, and it's not up on the roof. Yes, it's private, but it's also extremely dangerous. Therefore, management's asked me to keep the roof access locked, unless it's an emergency. FYI, trance cravings do not count as emergencies. Seriously, Avery, you're good at your job, but you need help. Looks like he was addicted to the trance. I could relate. From Animus Customer Relations. Public statements. The management of Animus Organics would like to remind colleagues not to make statements to the press regarding product safety. Investigation into recent high-profile exponential wetware growth, or grey goo, accidents is underway and will be released when completed. Right, so that's what our previous character was doing, right? Growing her own wetware. From Central, okay. Exposure conditions. To Avery Gerbach, please be aware that tomorrow is midday UV exposure index expected to peak at 8. Your genetic background indicates a propensity to melanoma. Please take extra care in order to maintain long-term health. Wow, this Central is quite all-encompassing. The Newton centralized government advises you to restrict outdoor movement to after sunset, except where vital. Who's this? Quit Salmon. Subject, congratulations. Hey man, just wanted to say big grats on the engagement. She's a really swell girl, and I know you guys are going to be so happy together. Catch you after work at the den? Sal. Not anymore. Compose new message? No. Refresh inbox. See if there's another message. No. Okay. Arts. I have no idea what these charts mean. The company's doing well or going bust. Amongst all the economics and business speak, the only word you recognize is wetware. I think there's a phone call. Maybe a message. We can call people.
Hello? Do you know what time it is?
Sorry, wrong number.
Call these people?
I think I
well.
found the office manager's contact.
See if he'll help us. Remember, be consistent when you're talking to him.
What? Who is this? Do you have any idea what time it is?
Mr. Atwood,
Some
my name
idea.
is Dr. Regis. I'm an investigator for Cell.
What? I mean, what's happened?
We're investigating a serious incident in your workplace. I need to ask you a few questions.
Oh, Nuke, what happened?
Oh, Nuke.
We need to get up to the roof from your office. We have reason to believe someone we're pursuing has made their way up.
Oh, jeez. Well, I'm the one with the code, but management's ordered me not to let people up there.
We're the
That's
police.
why we've got the lock in the first place.
We're not getting into the trance.
This is a serious incident, Mr. Atwood. Time is slipping away, and a serial killer might be as well.
What? Really?
We need your assistance to bring him in. Do you think you'll be able to help us?
Sure. I'll do what I can. You want the roof code? It's 6167.
Thanks. Other Cell agents may contact you later for more information.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, 6167.
The attack was recent.
The mod didn't want...
He probably...
His ID
Does he have
badge says
anything on him?
Gerbach. He's an HR...
If the mind...
Have Central run his data. See if it can flag anything.
Is there anything else here? Lock terminal, biometric security, water cooler, office. Gone home already. Okay, let's go up. to the roof.
Locked.
That keypad.
6167. Okay, it tells you. That's good. Because I have a what's called in the business a horrible memory.
Come on, we've almost caught up with him.
Oh, that looks like him.
The Mindjacker!
Freeze, cell agents. Lay down your weapon and put your hands above your head.
This action.
Does that ever work?
Sometimes. It was worth a try. You're under arrest on suspicion of illegal trafficking of neural data, breaking and entering, and homicide.
Let's
Doesn't
not forget, shooting at
seem to
cell
care.
agents.
The only way off this rooftop is down.
Oh, maybe we should
either
have said
with
that.
us or over the edge.
Frankly, the second one's fine by me.
No. What? It looks like a
What?
robot. Oh.
What? He had lifting gear?
He's escaping by aerostat.
Central, our mindjacking suspect has fled the scene by air.
Interceptors dispatched. Belcorp officers have arrived on scene at Animus. Please return to headquarters for debriefing.
Nuke it. We were so close.
Nuke it. Crazy. Wonder what cell stands for.
Lau, Max,
What? Huh?
were you sleeping on duty?
Weird.
Sleep? No, I was trancing. For work, of course.
Dr.
Of
Lau
course.
was submitting her case report.
We were so close. Have you found the aerostat he escaped to?
No records have been found of such a vehicle.
What?
Radar and air traffic records show no aerostat present at that time, and no
And a
communications
cloaking, maybe?
traffic has been identified regarding the aerostat.
Maybe he deleted them? Covered his tracks?
That would require access to an improbable number of systems, including my own.
Uh-oh.
Such an undetected intrusion into central systems is implausible.
Are you saying we're lying?
It is possible that you were mistaken. Human error. For the moment, you are advised to pursue other lines of inquiry.
Oh,
If
really?
you say so. Something's going on here.
I don't trust Central now? Already got the preference set up on how you like them. Cables. A number of cables run directly into the building's electrical and data flow systems from Lau's desk. Apparently her customized wetware gear sometimes requires tremendous resources. She doesn't care about how many of the building's technicians complain about her pulling floors open.
Hey, Lau,
What
Yeah?
does she think?
got any ideas where we can look next?
I thought you were supposed to be the lead on this case. We could look into that other lead. What was his name?
Gil Vanderwall?
Yeah, that's the one.
Do we know
I
about
thought
him?
Vanderwall made it pretty clear he wasn't going to speak to us.
Might just be the way you handled him. Tact is apparently not your strong point.
I like to speak my mind.
I'll contact him and see if he's more open to persuasion. He might cooperate if you're not there threatening him with physical injury.
He's a dyed-in-the-wool felon. He deserves worse.
But if he can help us...
All right. See what you can do.
Let's find
Looks
out more
like we
about the
found our
victim.
latest casualty.
Damn it. Why him, though?
I was wondering the same thing. We're assuming the Mindjacker's a data thief. The usual MO would be to target valuable info he can sell on the black market.
But this guy, he was an HR administrator.
Apparently a very good one, but not the kind who'd be let in on company secrets.
We'll just have to ask the Mindjacker when we catch him. Let me know if you find anything.
Will do, Regis.
See what we can figure out here. So we've got some kind of folder, or that's Central, I think. VoIPcom. Last 4 information, larceny with composite harm to health. Okay, we already read this, I think. Yeah. Yep. Anything newsworthy? Eurofed adopts metric time. So Eurofed, I guess that must be the European Union. Continuing a long-standing process of standardization, the Parliament of the European Federation has today ratified the uptake of metric time across the 64-member union. Measure signed into law by EF Prime Minister Jacqueline Santini at 6:52:80, 15:40 p.m. Oh, interesting. Maybe they got rid of the 60-second in a minute thing. It's planned to be rolled out over the course of the next 4 years. Under the scheme, measure of time of day to be divided into 10 hours, each with 100 minutes made up of 100 seconds. Santini, whose Federalist Party had been one of the keenest supporters of the new policy, greeted the change enthusiastically. Computing and commercial time measurement has long been carried out in a metric scale with atomic timing. The division into 24 hours has itself merely been an arbitrary convention of history. Yeah, kind of. Well, commonly referred to as metric time, the measurement of day into periods of 10 should more accurately be known as decimal time. Internationally, the EF's policy has gained little traction, not outright criticism, with some leaders condemning the change as unnatural. The Oceania Cooperative's government was less emotive, issuing a statement that though the change was one demanded by the European voter, which we will respect as a democratic institution, they made clear that the OC has no plans to adopt any similar measures. Interesting. Sports. Latest scores: Kobadi, Newton 55-37 UAE, match in progress. Weather currently dry with light outbreaks of rain expected later this evening. Not particularly interesting. Chisiki says a day and a night for staying indoors. Okay. I'd say interesting. See this picture. This looks like an older picture. Biksha and Charlie, May 2066. Charlie. Maybe a son? Got some mail from null.node. Null at null.node. This looks like some spam. It's very important that you download and activate this package in a secure location as soon as possible. Tell no one, players depend on it. Yeah. Let's do it! Download the data package to your traveler. You're unsure who this might be. An informant, perhaps? Such you dislike the cloak and dagger approach they've requested. They'll take any help you can get right now. Interesting. Interesting. It's Dr. Santiago. Howdy. Hey Charlie, why are you hogging Lao so much? The rest of us need a wirehead on cases as well. I'll probably guess why you're not letting go of her. Hey. But seriously, man, give the rest of us a turn. Subject, this is from VFR Medical. Subject, functional wetware. Dr. Regis. As per our discussion at your last checkup, you have still not opted for enhanced neuroconnective wetware. While not yet critical, please remember that your work will be increasingly difficult as support for non-wetware systems is phased out. VFR Medical Support. So we've got this old school view on life and looks like investigating crimes as well. Fulcrum admin. Subject, fixed costs. Charles Reach. Oh, we are Charles. Okay. That was a picture of us from a while ago. I wonder if we're still with what looked like our wife. Your monthly payment of 8,100 U, it looks like. The rental of the Tier 42 Northwest balcony garden has been processed. Approval for continued use granted by E. Vargas Centralized Admin. Thank you for your continued contribution to the city's green skyline. It looks like it's kind of like a charity, maybe? It's like a garden that we're paying for. Central Cell, continued vandalism. Dr. Regis, the optical feed from your office is no longer functional. Based on past examples of your behavior, I believe it likely to be by your own hand. While you may object to perceived surveillance, please recall that this is for your safety, not of other cell staff. So it looks like we've damaged the camera because we don't want to be spied on. Vanderwall Jill. No, no, no! Dr. Regis, apparently my previous answer was unclear. No, I will not help you with your investigations, despite your crude threats. Continue to make baseless accusations about any supposed ties I'm alleged to have with organized crime. You shall be hearing from my lawyers. So it looks like we tend to take the heavy hand approach, so I'll try to play Charlie in this way. And Dr. Petra Weissmel. Subject Baxter. Hi, Charlie. Afraid it doesn't look good regarding Baxter. Central's approved the parole. We take it personally, it's not like they ignore your input, but, well, not exactly going to be the most objective person after what he did to you and your wife, are you? Oh, something happened to her wife. Baxter maybe attacked us. And he was paroled? Not good, not good. Okay, what's this? I can call someone if I want to. I think that's all we can do here. Let's take a look at that bit that we downloaded.
I trust Max, but I know Central would hear everything in cell headquarters.
Okay. Let's go out. Santiago and Preston's office. Though you can tolerate Dr. Santiago's opinions, it looks like Dr. Preston's the only one in the office. You'd rather avoid another sermon on the merits of centralized government. Surgical lab?
Locked. Dr. Santiago must be working on something he doesn't want me seeing.
Okay, so I think the elevator's this way. Ooh, what's this? Kind of automated cleaning machine, maybe? Bulletins. Notices cascade across the board, just like the way they need to move all of the time, and believe that it reflects the short attention span people have in this city. I hear that. So we can decide where to go. It looks like Animus. Let's go to the balcony. So this is supposed to be the place that we rented. Fulcrum Tower.
When people
Nice.
worry, there's always something they find to help them. Drinking, the trance, even got me. I've got a place I like to go to. It's helped me when I've been troubled in the past.
Oh, cool.
I'm not climbing that. It's sickly enough as it is.
Ha!
It took a lot of work to make, but it was worth it. This engineered tree is the kind of memorial I think she'd appreciate.
Engineered tree. Look at the plaque. Not even having to glance for a moment, those words are etched in memory deeper than anything else. Viksha Regis, beloved wife, friend to all that lives, 11th of August, 2034. 2nd January 2067. So that picture of us looks like it was the year before. Past. Think of us not as engineers, but as artists. Sad. Doors lock off your gardening tools.
It's empty.
Okay, let's take a look at this file that we downloaded.
Here goes nothing.
Dr. Regis.
Yes?
Regis? Central's still giving us a negative on the aerostat. It's like it just vanished. So I thought I'd better give you a heads up.
Do you mind? I was in the middle of something. How did you find me?
Central told me you'd be here, at Fulcrum Tower. Also, it said, stop turning your traveler off.
What a surprise. I like my privacy, though. That's why I come here.
You hang around the balconies much?
I'm gonna play a little bit elusive, not openly sharing.
I come up here from time to time.
I can see why. It's a great view. Not for someone with a fear of heights, though. Is it a private garden?
Max,
Viksha Regis. Charlie, this is... I'm sorry. I didn't know.
You shouldn't. I don't tell anyone.
Wow. I know you've got some seriously high-up strings you can pull, but I didn't think they'd ever let someone be buried up here. And how the hell can you afford somewhere like this?
We were married for 4 years.
I'm sorry it couldn't last.
We met in our professions. She was a engineer as well.
You didn't have kids?
My previous work, well, it left both of us infertile. We had embryos prepared through IVF, but we never got to using them.
I'm really sorry. I remember reading... It was Baxter, wasn't it?
Don't push it, Dr. Lau.
Sorry.
She isn't buried up here. She was processed, like anyone else.
I see.
The tree's special, though. I made it myself, from scratch.
Planted and grew?
No, made. It's a cross of Chrysophyllum canito and Prunus cerulata. The junk DNA in every cell of it contains her entire genome.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Takes a lot of looking after.
But you're doing it for her.
Makes it all worth it.
I think I figured out why you went off the grid to come up here tonight. You heard about Baxter, didn't you?
They let a monster like that walk.
They didn't parole him because they approve of what he did. He's out because he's got skills Central thought would be useful. With a governor jammed in his limbic system. Well, he won't be the same man. He can't even imagine hurting anyone again.
Even if it were completely true, I know that there is absolutely no way I could forgive him.
On the bright side, he'd probably be pretty mad at you too. Well, if he could have thoughts like that anymore without falling over and puking, you put him away, and that counts for something. I know it's not exactly normal for you to open up, but if you want someone to talk to,
Central wants us?
I'm afraid so. We better get going. You coming?
I just need a moment to think, Max. A little privacy. It's why I came up here in the first place.
I understand, Charlie. I'll be in the car. I'll see how long I can stall Central.
Max,
Yes?
Nothing.
That's all right, Charlie. I understand. I'll be in the car.
So it sounds like Baxter
I can't ask for her help in this. I'm not even sure what this is yet.
has been reformed Clockwork Orange style. Okay, let's see what this file is
You
all
are
about.
alone, as requested.
Yes? Now what is this about?
1448D-A, 1448D-B, 1448D-C, 1448D-E.
Excuse me?
Stomach lurches as you recognize the image. You know them. You've seen them before. You hadn't remembered them by number. Whoever's calling you has 4 embryo containers. Your own. Oh, he's gonna use them against us, I bet. Gonna blackmail us. Looks like there's a hammer there.
What about them?
They were removed from the Alracis Medical Center, originally deposited at 1615 on the 11th of November 2065. They have been fertilized by yourself and Dr. Viksha Regis. They were frozen at the earliest viable phase of growth. 3 are female and 1 is male. They were deposited after your fertility treatment proved...
Stop! Why are you telling me this? Who are you? And what are you doing with my my embryos?
You are about to meet with a contact, Giel Vanderwall. In his home is an active memory module, a most unique model. You will secure it for us. Further instructions will follow.
What?
And what if I don't? That image could be a sim.
Apparently, you need more incentive not to waste my time.
No!
1 is gone. 3 remain. Do it quickly. Your legacy is in jeopardy.
Oh man. Conflict brews in your mind and in your heart. Giving in to blackmail like this would be the antithesis of everything you stand for, both as an agent of the law and as a human being. On the other hand, you cannot bring yourself to risk a small part of the legacy that you've worked for so many years to maintain.
To save the lives of our children? I think I can accept that.
Wow. What are we gonna do?
So, despite the incident at Animus, I may have some good news. We might have a break in that string of mindjackings.
Vanderwall agreed to talk.
Yeah. How'd you guess?
He couldn't hold out forever. What did he say?
Didn't want to talk over the...
Lau?
Central wants a word.
Dr. Regis, Dr. Lau.
This isn't just a social call for an update, is it, Central?
Dr. Regis, lately you have spent a great deal of your time off network. It is for your
So?
safety and that of the citizens that we...
No. Do you
Central?
want to spy on
All
me?
points bulletin, evacuation in progress at Barber's Gate Transit Station. Case officers Regis and Lau assigned to crisis management.
What's happening at the...
All case data has been transferred to Dr. Lau. Your vehicle has been rerouted. Please seek an expedient resolution to the situation. Central out.
Business-like as ever. Let's go see what this is about.
Crazy. Alright, guys. I'm going to wrap up this episode. I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. youtube.com/Andrew Erdig, and you can follow me on Twitter at Andrew Erdig. That way you can find out when I post new videos, and you can see when I stream live on twitch.tv/Luckless Lovelocks. This is Luckless Lovelocks, signing out for now.